Hola clase. I'm going to walk through 04.08 in this video. This is Evaluación, escrita. So this is your written evaluation. It is building on your rough draft from 04.04. So if you've completed that assignment, you already have your rough draft for this. You're just mainly what you're doing in this is you're adding 2 new pieces of information. So this is this week's update. This is what your course looks like when you open it up, when you open up your Spanish 2 class with me. If you scroll all the way down, lots of really good info in the updates every week. You're going to go to your lessons here. Yours is going to look a little different than mine because I'm in teacher mode, but it basically looks very similar. Same navigation. So you're going to go to Module 4. You're going to go to 04.08. Evaluación escrita. And mostly what this lesson is just giving you the instructions for the assignment. So it says showing off your skills. Once upon a time, you learned how to use the imperfect tense to describe things that happened in the past. How to use gustar and encantar in the imperfect tense to show what you liked and loved. And how to use superlative and demonstrative adjectives to describe people, places, and things. So your skills are enchanting. In this assessment, your written skills will be evaluated. I'm just reading these paragraphs up here. For the written assessment, you will use the rough draft that you submitted in the writing workshop from this module, that's 04.04, and write the final draft of your list of 5 sentences in Spanish. So think about 5 sentences. It doesn't have to be more than that. Some people have submitted something extremely long, and that's okay if that's your original work. If it's something from a translator, it's usually pretty obvious to me. Or if it's copied from the internet, I will call you out on that. So definitely try and complete your own work. It's 5 sentences using the imperfect tense to create a short fairy tale. And you will submit your paragraph in the assessment section. Please review the following instructions carefully. So reviewing your instructions is really important because you are being graded on if you have included the requirements. If you would like to see very specifically how you're graded, you can look up the rubric. If you click that, it will show you how to get full points. If you want to show that you're proficient and get maximum points, which is like your max points is 30 points, these assignments are really important because they are worth a lot of points. So they are a large part of your grade. So it's really important to do really quality work. So that is how you're graded. You can print that if you want. Let me move me over here. Okay, so let me get out of there. You can also pull up a student sample. This is a sample of what yours will look like. Okay, so not very long. It's plenty long, but it's not super long. Okay, 5 sentences. One big thing you're adding here is original title. So that's a very easy addition to make is adding an original title above your story. Okay, so you're starting with your rough draft. You're using your rough draft from 04.04. Sometimes people just submit the same exact assignment for 04.04 into 04.07. And, that's obviously it is going to be very similar, but it is, you're missing 2 to 3 pieces of important information that you need to add. So you need to make sure that you're adding that before you submit it for your final grade. So it says add the new stuff, okay? You're going to add a title for your fairy tale. You're going to use gustar or encantar in the imperfect tense to explain what the main character liked or loved. And you're going to use complete sentences in Spanish. So those are the things you need to add. I'm going to walk you through a little guide I made, and I'm going to post the guide in your resources to help you write your final draft. Okay, so finalize your final draft, proofread your final fairy tale, correct spelling and grammar errors, save your final draft, and submit your final draft in the assessments area. Okay. So right here, go to the next. And this is just going to tell you to go ahead and go to your assessment. So I'm going to go ahead and if you go over to your materials, You can pull your assignments. Just another side note, if you want all the videos for that I'm making, like the video that you're looking at right now, all of those are in this red folder. There's a link to the playlist with all of the videos that I've created for this class that are to help you with all your lessons and assignments. So that is always here. So, but click materials and you go to my assignments. You're going to open up, again, mine's going to look tiny bit different just because I'm in teacher mode. You're going to go to 04.08, Evaluación, escrita. Okay, so you're going to start new attempt. And again, your requirements are all listed here again for you. So you have, these are all the exact same requirements from 04.04, except that you need to add a title for your fairy tale. You need to, where's your other thing you have to do? Oh, gustar or encantar in the imperfect tense to explain what the main character liked or loved. And then you need to always make sure you're using vocabulary words and expressions learned in the course. So if you're using like really rare vocabulary and grammar that we haven't covered in this semester, and it might be something that like Spanish 3, Spanish 4, or college level Spanish students that are working on, it's going to be really hard for me to think that that's original work. Unless you've demonstrated to me already that you have a very strong command of the Spanish language. So I just would warn you to not do that because I will, push you to write your own original work and not use a translator or not use and not copy stuff from the internet. Okay, so I'm going to pause it real quick and I'll show you the guide that I created, which will be posted in your resources. So 1 second. Okay, so this is the guide for assignment 04.07 to help you write it. It's very similar to the guide for 04.04. It's just got the added requirement pieces in there with examples. So I just posted the requirements just as if they're in the assignment when you're about to submit. The other thing I'm going to point you to is all of the letters with accents that you need access to, including your exclamation mark and your question mark, are all up here. So if you need to add an accent, make sure you use those to add them in, or if you know the shortcuts and on your keyboard, then use those shortcuts and just make sure you've got your accents correctly in there. Okay, so I wrote this guide. Use this guide below to help organize and revise your final draft. Okay, so it's going to add an original title of your story. Put it above your story. So your example is just like this. It doesn't have to, you can't do bold in yours, but just make sure that your title is clearly shown as being a title. It's not just like squished in with the rest of your story. So get it up there, and the very easy requirement, make sure an original title, make sure your story is original. Then you've got your beginning. This is the same beginning examples from 04.04, so I'm not going to go over that again. You've got, but each section of here, just like in the last guide, it tells you kind of what you're looking for to do, and it has suggestions, and then it also has suggestions on what to use, and then if applicable, and then also the example of what it might look like. Okay. In some of these suggestions, I'm going to point, if you're really confused about what to do, I've pointed to review lessons. This is also what you can do is review the lesson, or you can review the video that I made for the lesson. Again, all those videos are posted. The link to those are posted in the updates every week, as well as being in your materials in your Schoology menu and everything. So this is your new piece that you're adding. Let me highlight it. Okay, description. of what the main character loved or liked in the imperfect tense. So your hint here is to review lesson 04.06 or my video for 04.06 to better understand how to use intentar or gustar. So they're both AR verbs. So, but they are used a little bit differently because of they are, you're using like me gusta is talking about things that I like, te gusta things that you like, le gusta are talking about what someone else likes. So you're just going back to just make sure you're using those same forms from present tense when you're putting the reflexive pronoun in front. So you've got me, te, le, se, nos. And if you need to review those, let me know, and I can make a video for it, or I can point you to a video to help you with reflexive. But the video for 04.06 goes over these different forms, and but you've got to make sure that you're using imperfect. So you're talking about things that they used to like continually. Your example here is al ogro le gustaba la princesa. Okay, the ogre liked the princess. También le encantaba el vestuario hermoso que se ponía la princesa. So it says also he loved the beautiful clothes that the princess wore. Okay, so just make sure you don't have to use both gustar or encantar. You can just use one. So there's just one added sentence that you're adding in. But you need to make sure you're using that encantar or gustar and use it in the imperfect tense to get to meet that requirement. And then everything else is the same. You're doing your description of your setting. You're describing your secondary character. These are all examples here of what you're looking for. And your hint. I've already gone through this in 04.04, so that's why I'm kind of brushing over it because I've already talked about this a lot in 04.04. And all you're doing is adding these two pieces of the title and the sentence with gustar and encantar. Okay, so that is the end. And here is an example. So just go through all these little pieces if you need help with 04.08. And this is kind of what your final example should look like, which I showed you earlier. But you've got El Ogro y la Princesa. Make sure you got your title in there. And you've got your about 5 sentences of your writing. So if you have any questions about this or you need more resources or even if it's a small question, a huge question, whatever it is, just let me know and I will work hard to help you and get you more help if you need it. That's all. I think that's it. Have a good day.